Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to my channel for another live stream. I, um, okay, um, full disclosure, I was going to do, something on the seven trumpets, but I realized, um, that's a little more in depth than I want to go right now. So instead, I changed my mind to the harlot of Babylon. Now, for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers will, because a lot of my viewers are ex Christians. But in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, um, both the seven trumpets and the harlot of Babylon are found in the book of the Revelation, which is the last book in the Christian Bible. Um, so, anyway, I want to go over who was the harlot, or more commonly known as the Whore of Babylon, in the Revelation. And you might be surprised what it is. Okay? Um, but I do have video up and going. Um, so we'll go to that in a little while, but the Whore of Babylon is found in Revelation 17, and so everybody's on the same page. I know some of my ex Christian viewers have not read the Bible in a while, so just so we're all on the same page, I'm going to go to Revelation 17, and I will share my screen. Alrighty. Make sure you can see it. Alrighty. So, here we go. Um, the Revelation chapter 17. One of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, oh, also, in case you're confused, the bowls and the trumpets, two separate things. It does get confusing, because you've got trumpets, you've got bowls, you've got this, you've got that, but yeah, they're separate. Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters. With her, the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here for a minute. Depending on who you ask, generally the denomination, you will get different answers. Um, the Jehovah's Witnesses are going to say um, the Whore of Babylon is the empire of false religion. Um, and then you'll have others saying it's this and it's that and the other. Okay. So anyway, just nobody, I just want to throw this out there right now. Okay. Nobody can agree on who the hell the Whore of Babylon is. I'm just going to throw that out there. All right. Which should give you a very good clue that this is not the fucking Word of God. Because if it was the Word of God, everybody would be on the same page, right? I mean, it ain't that hard. If you want people to understand shit and you're an all powerful God, people are going to understand shit, right? All right. So I should add that the revelation, and it is the revelation, singular, not plural, it is not revelations. Right. I've heard too many Christians say revelations. It is not revelations. It is the revelation. And if you want to be super proper about it, it's the revelation of St. John the Divine. Okay? All right. Um but anyway, yeah. All right. Moving on, verse 3. Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, so what are the 7 heads? Well, if we read further, whoever wrote the Revelation, and it could have been St. John, I don't know. I don't fucking know. It says it was John, but in this period, people borrowed names. You see you see that problem with Paul. You know, Paul didn't write all of the um, letters that are ascribed to him. So it it was just a thing that was done back then uh, to give more weight, I guess. So who knows? But uh, whoever wrote it says they were John. So you know, um, I will give whoever the benefit of the doubt and go with John. All right. Um, so John tells us who the 7 heads are. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was a mystery. Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. We will watch a little bit later on when I get done with this um, chapter. We will watch a short video of what a Christian preacher thinks is the Whore of Babylon. So, yeah, that's coming. Verse 6. I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of God's holy people, the blood of those who bore testimony to Jesus. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, "Why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come." Okay, so I'm not going to go into it right now, all right? But this verse 17, verse 8, is a great argument for predestination, because it says, written in the book of life from the creation of the world. And like I said, I'm not going to get into that right now. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Verse 9. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. They are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, one is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. Okay, so let's pick this apart. This calls for a mind with wisdom. That's debatable. This book is like a LSD trip complemented with mushrooms. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There's one city that I know of in the world, one city that I know of that sits on 7 hills. Do you know which city that is? I'll give you a sec. Do 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 do. Okay, time's up. That city is da 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 Rome. Yes, my peeps. The city that sits on 7 hills is Rome. Verse 10. They are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen. One is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. Okay, so explanation time. Most New Testament scholars will say that, hey, Jill, that the Revelation was written around 96 CE. And that would have been during the reign of Domitian. And they think it was written in the reign of Domitian because of some of the things that are referred to. So, anyway, yeah, thank you, Joe. Fuck you too. Um, so anyway, they think because of some of the things that are written, some of the clues that are in there, it was written during the reign of Domitian. But he's talking about 7 kings, okay? Or we can say 7 emperors, okay? Um, because he's talking about Rome. And remember, um, he was talking about 666. Well, who is 666? 666 was Nero. Okay, 666 was Nero. And what did he say about the 7 kings? 5 have already passed. So we're going to hop over to Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a very good, um, if you just want a few little facts here and there, it's good enough. Okay. So let's hop over to Wikipedia. The 5 emperors from when Rome became an empire. Okay. Augustus was the first, and he began his reign in 27 BCE. Okay. Tiberius, Caligula, which, by the way, Caligula was not his formal name. Caligula is just a nickname. It means little boots. Claudius, and everyone's favorite Roman emperor, Nero. 5, including, but stopping at Nero. Okay? So those are the 5 emperors. Now, there was a year, 68 to 69 CE, that saw 4 emperors. And I'm not going to go over those. Then you have the Flavian dynasty from 69 to 96, which is when 96E. Remember, 96 is when a lot of New Testament scholars believe that John wrote the Revelation. So, the Flavian dynasty, we have Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Okay. So I don't know, you know, where he got 7 kings from, because you've got the year of 4 emperors, and then you've got 3 in the Flavian dynasty between 69 and 96. Um, and if you're keeping count, that's 8, if you're not counting the year of the 4 emperors. That's 8, not 7. Uh, so yeah. Um, but you know, I guess that's okay because the Bible isn't a history book. It's not meant to be a history book. It's not a fucking history book. This is apocalyptic literature, which is something else entirely. And I'm not going to get into what apocalyptic literature is. That is way too broad of an issue for this live stream. All right, going back to Revelation 17, verse 11: the beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. Okay, so my educated guess is that the 8th king is Domitian. Um, and he belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. I have no idea what that means. Obviously, I know what the literal words mean, but it makes no goddamn sense. The 8th king belongs to the 7. What the fuck are you talking about? The 8th king belongs to the 7. What did I say about LSD and magic mushrooms? Yeah. Anyway, and before you say it, people, yes, I know. LSD was not even thought about at this time. All right, verse 12. But John was tripping on something. That's all I gotta say. All right, verse 12. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who, for 1 hour, will receive authority as kings along with the beast. Well, you know what? There's no way John can be talking about the future because we don't have 10 kings today. There's and we're talking about who have not yet received a kingdom. You know, um, we've got, I think there's a king in Thailand, I think, I'm not sure. Of course, UK has a king, Norway has a king, Finland, I think, still has a king, Sweden, I think, still has a king. I'm not sure if any other countries have kings. Leave it down below if you can think of any others. Um, for 1 hour, obviously that's poetic. They're going to reign for more than 1 hour for sure. If indeed these are 10 kings. But anyway, moving on. Verse 13, they will have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Now remember, this is high Christology. This is after the church switched to high Christology. Verse 15, then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire, for God has put it into their hearts to accomplish its purpose by agreeing to hand over to the beast their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. The great city. Keep that in mind because it's going to be paramount. All right. So that's the end of chapter 17. Now we are going to watch a little bit of this who the harlot is. Okay. It's actually called the 3 warnings. Um, just in case you haven't figured out who the harlot is yet. Just in case you haven't figured it out. I'm going to go ahead and ruin it for you. The harlot is Jerusalem. The harlot is Jerusalem. And you can see even back then, even in around 96 CE, the Christians hated the Jews. Absolutely hated the Jews. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and see what this idiot has to say.
Fascinating book. It's filled with inspiration and encouragement. It gives strength to the weary and hope to the hopeless. But many are surprised to find out just how blunt the Bible is, maybe even shocking. Take the book of Revelation. It's amazingly candid in talking about some delicate subjects. Have you read the book of Revelation lately? We're going to dive into a portion of it today and glean what we can about a subject which has surprising connection to our life today. In today's
A man who was exiled to the island of Patmos and probably went stark raving mad because he didn't have any, company except a guard, which I'm sure didn't want to talk to him at all. You know, John was a political prisoner, okay? So Rome exiled him to the island of Patmos to live out his days. All right, moving on. But he was stark raving mad when he wrote the Revelation. I mean, you can't come to any other conclusion. The man was stark raving mad. Moving on.
world of political correctness, the Bible is refreshingly honest and genuine. It tells it like it is. It doesn't pull any punches.
No, no, and no. It's not refreshingly honest. It doesn't tell it like it is. And what do you mean it doesn't pull any punches? Because it for goddamn sure does pull punches. Alright, moving on.
When you want the truth, the Bible is where you should turn. So join me in this.
Oh my god! No. Thanks for the laugh, though. Moving on.
Edition of Tomorrow's World. And take a moment to get a pen and paper now because you'll have the opportunity a little later on to request a free publication. It's called Who or What is the Antichrist? It's a fascinating glimpse into a mysterious but vital subject, and one that will take on more and more relevance as we get closer to Christ's return. So get ready.
Yeah. Jesus can't return, because even if there was a real person upon which the mythological Jesus was based, he be's dead. So, yeah. Moving on.
Because in a moment, we're going to launch into our topic and discover who is the great harlot of Revelation. Welcome to Tomorrow's World. A lot of people know about the Bible, but few really read it, and fewer still understand it.
Yep, you for damn sure have that one right. Not a whole lot of people read the fucking Bible, because if they did read the fucking Bible, they'd be out of the church lickety split. I can guarantee you that. You do not want your people reading that fucking book. Moving on.
One vital key to understanding the Bible, especially when it comes to prophecy, is to understand symbolism. Much prophecy is written in symbolism. Now, by symbolism, I don't mean that all meaning is just wiped away. I just mean that certain symbols represent other things. And if we let the Bible itself define those symbols, the meaning is unlocked, like the turning of a key. Take, for example,
Okay, so you're saying prophecies written in symbolism. So, does that mean Shakespeare's prophecy? Because there is a lot of prophecy or a lot of symbolism. I'm sorry, I got that confused. Because he said symbolism is prophecy. Yeah. So forgive that gaff, but yeah. And Shakespeare's a whole lot more interesting than that mess of the book you call God's Word. So, yeah.
the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation is full of symbols. Stars we find can represent angels, floods are symbolic of people, horns represent governments. And a woman, this is the key for our discussion today, a woman represents a church. One of the places where we find
Yeah. He's not the only one who thinks that, by the way. A lot of people think the woman represents church, but I'm here to tell you that woman doesn't. She represents Jerusalem. And I'm not going to go into it here because that's not what this is about. But I will go into it in another. Um, it'll either be an edited video or it will be a live stream, but I will get into it later. But that's not what this video is about. Let's see what this idiot thinks the harlot is.
that occur is in Revelation 19. Jesus Christ gave this message to the Apostle John. John was inspired to see in vision a glimpse of the glorified saints entering the kingdom of God and marrying Jesus Christ as his bride. Let's read it together. Let us be glad.
And you see, that always, confused me. Okay, so John is picturing the church collectively as a bride. How is that possible? Okay, let's just think about this for a minute. Okay, let's just think about this because let's think about it in terms of okay, prime example. Let's think about this in terms of the FLDS. Okay, the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Okay, and let's think about this in terms of Jeff Warren. Okay, who's the so-called prophet of the church. All right, he's in jail now for what I ain't gonna say. You probably know. Um, but anyway, but the FLDS is famous for their practice of polygamy, which most people know is outlawed in the United States of America. Um, Now, there are people outside of the FLDS that do practice a form of polygamy, and they get away with it because they only have one legal wife. The other so called wives are spiritual wives, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But let's take Jeff Warren, okay? So he's not in prison because he practiced polygamy, okay? He's not. He did something else, something far worse, okay? But he did break the law in practicing polygamy. So, what if Jeff Warren said, well, no, I'm not practicing polygamy because I'm marrying the church? Would the government, hey, Robert, would the government really take that excuse? I'm not practicing polygamy because I'm marrying the church. Do you think that that would hold muster with the government? Fuck no. What kind of an idiot do you think we are? So, these idiots want us to believe that the quote unquote church, which they themselves admit is made up of people, not a person, but people. They want us to believe that the church is one collective bride. How fucking stupid do you think we are? Moving on.
And rejoice and give him glory. For the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his wife has made herself ready. The Lamb is Christ, slain for the world. His wife is his church. We find that in other places, as we'll see a little bit later. And the woman who marries Christ is a virtuous, honorable, respectable, upstanding woman. What it means is that the saints who
Yeah. Note that you said woman, not men and women, a singular woman, not a collective singular woman, which isn't even a thing, but a woman. You know, now that I'm out of this mess called Christianity, I'm like, how could I have fallen for this shit? Moving on.
enter glory will be virtuous, clean, obedient, and forgiven of their sins under the precious blood of Christ. Going on, it says, and to her it was granted to be arrayed in fine linen, clean and bright, for the fine linen is the righteous acts of the saints. That's how Jesus sees his precious church. That's how he sees people who are sincere and faithful and obedient to him, as a woman of integrity and character prepared.
Yeah, because that's what they want. That's all they want. They want your fucking obedience and your money. But if they've got your obedience, they've got your pocketbook too. That's all they want. That's all they fucking want. They want power over you. Do not give them that power. I say it all the fucking time on my channel. Take your power back. If you've given it to these people, take your power back. Because let me tell you something. The power over you is yours to give and yours to take back. Now, obviously, there are times that's not the case. I'm talking about, when you break the law, but this isn't one of those times. Take your power back if you've given your power away. Take it back. It's yours to give, and it's yours to take back. At any rate, I'm going to leave it there. Um, and so, yeah. But the church is not a city. Just in case you've already forgotten what Revelation 17 said. Remember, Revelation 17 said the woman is the city. The church is not a city. You fucking morons. Read your fucking book. And the leaders of these churches, they count on you not reading that book. Because, number one, if you actually read the book, you'd understand they're full of shit. Second of all, if you've read the book, you'd understand Christianity's nothing but bullshit. I covered that in one of the verses I covered yesterday on Saturday live stream in Psalms. Go watch that if you're of the mind to. But yeah, they say read it, but I don't think they really want you to read it. Because if you did read it, you'd understand. And that's quite an accomplishment if you can understand that book. Because it's topsy-turvy at times, let's say. But yeah. And I'll leave it at that. You have a wonderful day. And I may be on again. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, have a great day. And I'll, excuse me, I'll see you guys later. Bye.